I'm Viktoriia. I am an MBA student at Saïd Business School this year. I'm also one of the 4 directors at the Oxford Seed Fund this year. My background is in STEM, so I studied applied mathematics and statistics, computer science, all the cool stuff. And then for the last almost 10 years, I've been working as a data scientist. Last 5 years, I was based in London, working at Quantum Black, which is an AI arm of McKinsey. And I was always fascinated by machine learning and AI, and that was just always a pleasure for me to be working on the projects with different clients. Now I'm doing my MBA, and I really want to go back to the startup world. And the seed fund is definitely an amazing opportunity to get closer to startups and really understand how things work from the inside, while obviously from the VC standpoint.
Hi, I'm Celina. I'm also an MBA student at the Saïd Business School at the University of Oxford. I'm originally from California, but I spent all my career in Asia. So I worked at Goldman Sachs for the last 6.5 years. First in Singapore and then to Tokyo. And at Goldman Sachs, I was working primarily in the events and hospitality capacity. And through my hospitality work, I got a lot of opportunities to work with small businesses, and that has really inspired me to work with startups. Thankfully, with the Oxford Seed Fund, it's been a great opportunity to enter this venture capital world and get hands-on experience, which is very unique. And so post-graduation, I'm hoping to enter a career in venture capital in Europe. The Oxford Seed Fund has been around since 2012, 2013, but it was a much smaller fund. And as of this year, we've recently fundraised. We now have £2.5 million to invest in Oxford-affiliated startups across the next 3 years. So what that means is, as long as one of the co-founders is a student, faculty, or alumni, and the startup needs to be incorporated in either the UK or US, they qualify for funding. And so we're looking to make 10 investments this year, this academic year, with an average ticket size of about £60,000. And so we're really here to, one, it's an educational program for the MBA directors and the undergrad directors to have this hands-on experience from end to end what a venture capitalist would be doing, but also we want to be supporting the wider Oxford startup ecosystem and making sure that we have the right investments in those startups.
Oxford Seed Fund is the largest student-led VC fund in Europe. It's also perhaps the best-known fund in Oxford, and it's now supporting a dozen of startups, and we have a really broad range of startups in our portfolio, and this is also how we want to be known. So we are fully industry agnostic, and we really want to come where we can make the most impact. So in our portfolio at the moment, for instance, we have startups that range from AI solutions that work for smart background checks, all the way to user-friendly sperm testing kits. This year, I believe we also want to double down on deep tech and really want to tap into what Oxford is best known for, perhaps, and really pick cutting-edge, visionary, and really bold startups and have them in our portfolio. We have a few very interesting startups in the fintech industry in our portfolio. I wanted to highlight one of them, which is Onfido, which I think we should be really proud of. And so it's one of the investments that was made a few years ago. And at the moment, basically, it's a solution that allows you to do checks of the identity using analytics and AI and computer vision systems. And this solution is extremely successful. So at the moment is used by some of the large players, for instance, Revolut and Orange, definitely names that I believe everyone knows, are using the solution for identity checks in the application process for the users. And the team is growing. I believe at Onfido we currently have more than 600 people based in different parts of the world. So yeah, super happy to see this as one of the startups in our portfolio. And I hope that the investments that we make this year are gonna follow the same route.
We have our official Oxford Seed Fund page. There is a funding link, so if you Google search Oxford Seed Fund, it'll be the first one that pops up, and there's a funding link that you can access. So after you submit your application along with your pitch deck, the MBA directors as well as the undergrad directors, we take a look at your pitch deck, review it, we do our own due diligence, we invite the founders for a call. And so the due diligence process typically takes about 2 weeks to a month, and we do try to get back to you. But we have 4 investment committee meetings. We just had our first one last month, and then we have 3 more next year. So it's basically a rolling basis, but we do try to present about 3 to 4 investments per investment committee in order to reach our goal of 10 investments this year. After you get admitted, at least this was the journey for us, but after we got admitted to Saïd Business School, we saw an email that was publishing 4 positions for the Oxford Seed Fund. I think this was early summer, and we had applied. Thankfully, the 4 of us got in, and so even the first day of orientation, we had separate meetings with the Oxford Seed Fund to start the learning process and understanding what the timeline is for the year, understanding what's involved with the venture capital end-to-end process. Once the term started, and it's 4 full-time MBA directors on the Seed Fund, but there are other ways that the MBA students can get involved with the Seed Fund. And we have this new program that launched this year, which is called the Venture Scout Program. And so they, on their own time, would really go out into their own network, go into the wider Oxford campus and ecosystem, and source startups for us. There's 7 of us. There's only so much networking we can do. And so we really leverage these MBA scouts and MBA venture scouts to help us source companies. And we're sector agnostic, as Vic had mentioned. So we're really looking for people to tap into their own industries, own interests, and so that we have a diverse portfolio.
This is not compensated. This is definitely just something that MBAs are really, I think, are eager to do. If I'm not mistaken, more than 100 people applied to the director position during the last summer. For this academic year, and we only have 4 directors on the Seed Fund, so it was a pretty competitive position. At the same time, I believe people who do apply, they tend to be very passionate about startups, about VC in general, so it's definitely a unique opportunity to really see the underbelly of the VC of the VC world, and also get exposure, let's say, to VC partners, for instance, or the entrepreneurs or founders of the company. So this is definitely an extremely unique opportunity. It is a huge time commitment, so I would just say that, sometimes it does feel like it's a part-time job.
I don't come from a finance background. I did work in the finance industry, but my job was very much events and hospitality. But I had this passion for working with startups. And I've been looking for quite some time how to enter this VC world. And this Oxford Seed Fund has kind of granted me this very unique opportunity that's supplementing my MBA experience. Yes, the courses are great, and I really enjoy the learning process, but I think learning with hands-on experience is probably the best way to learn a job. And to have this experience while doing the MBA program has been fulfilling. There have been some events where other students from other European MBA schools have visited us and had mentioned, we don't have a fund like this. We don't have a student-led seed fund. And so I think that kind of really reminds us that, wow, this is a really unique opportunity, and we have this opportunity to make a huge impact on the startup ecosystem in Oxford. So really immensely grateful for the team and for this opportunity.
I can only echo what Celina said. I think perhaps the first few weeks during our orientation at the MBA program, we had all these very, very interesting introduction sessions and learning sessions and knowledge sharing sessions with people coming from actual VC companies, VC funds, and explaining to us how the whole thing works. So that was really very memorable. And then I think just having this exposure to all the founders and just like seeing what they're going through, it's definitely a very unique opportunity, a very unique experience. And all the learnings, all the classes from MBA are definitely great and amazing, but this is something that will stay with me for a long time, for sure. Definitely, I think by the time when we joined, the AI hype was perhaps reaching the peak or kind of like passing the peak. And given my background, I was actually very grateful for having all this knowledge that definitely helped me navigate the due diligence process of all the AI-related companies, AI-related startups. I actually expected to have more of these, let's say, AI application-focused companies in our pipeline, which was not the case. And I think it's actually perhaps a good thing that people don't just go for hype. People who come from Oxford and they actually have solid ideas, solid things that they want to bring to life. I was very pleased to see many startups started based on the research that some of the alumni did throughout their studies at Oxford, or actually like seeing many alumni from a long time ago starting the company and actually applying to the seed fund. So that was also like really nice kind of feeling of the continuity of this Oxford experience and really feeling that like you are Oxonian for your lifetime.
We are very much in the process of sourcing companies. So for those who are listening to this and is an Oxford affiliate or is running an Oxford affiliated startup, we would love to see your application come through. So just a quick plug for that. We're very much excited about what Oxford Seed Fund can do for the startup ecosystem.
Yeah, that's a beautiful plug. Thank you, Celina. I also wanted to encourage anyone who is interested in the career in VC to like really try to apply, for instance, to Oxford Seed Fund if they are planning to join a Saïd Business School MBA program next year. Definitely don't be discouraged if you don't have a relevant background, because indeed VC is made of people who come from all parts of all different kinds of experiences. So definitely go for it if you have passion for it. And best of luck with what you're trying to achieve.